Hello and welcome to This Might Be Random Thoughts by Mz.ChiGurl. And I'm your host, Mz.ChiGurl. I have been having a rough time today. No, I'm not going to say it just today. I'm going to say this week. I don't know if you can see it in this high quality video, but you see how I had these pimples? I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even eat any chocolate. I don't know why I got all this. What is this in my ear beeping? I'm sorry, y'all. That's what I'm saying. I've been having such a difficult time that I don't know what's going on. My earpiece keeps beeping, and I don't know why it's beeping. Now I hear Chloe crying. Oh my God. It's just a lot going on. And so I usually don't like to shoot content unless I'm in a good mood. But I know it's time for me to do the weekend watch with you guys. And by the way, I changed the name of the weekend watching. It is now called, let me see what I called it so I can tell you guys. Silver Screen and City Sings. What's hot on streaming in Chicago? What do you guys think about it? Or should I go back to weekend TV watching with Mz.ChiGurl? Just so you know, I'm not drunk or anything yet. But look, I had to get me a little something today. I usually don't even put ice in my wine, but it wasn't refrigerated. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to have to, put something in here because I don't like hot wine or room temperature. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's been a rough week, y'all. I'm going to say it's been rough because I'm dealing with a lot with my mother. Dealing with a family member who may or may not have dementia is very difficult. And the funny thing is that it's hereditary. And so it runs in the family. And I kind of dealt with this with my grandmother. And so when I was away at college, apparently my grandmother started to display symptoms of dementia. And so when I came home from school, I would stay with my grandparents. So this one time I came home, it was this big hoopla. And long story short, my grandmother accused me of something that I didn't do. And it was because of the dementia. And so my grandfather and my mother, they sat me down and they were like, I'm sorry, but grandma has dementia. And so they told me about it and da da da. And I'm like, well, why y'all didn't tell me before? I'm coming home and she's accusing me of stuff that I didn't do. And, it was just a lot. So I'm kind of reliving that, I guess you could say. Like, things got so bad staying at my grandparents that I eventually stopped coming home. And so, like, when schools, go on break or whatever, they'll have an intercession. And so I would, or rather my mother paid for me to stay in school during the intercession so I wouldn't have to come home because I just couldn't deal with it, so I want to say this started when I was 19. That's when I found out that my grandmother had dementia. And so I want to say 20 on, I ain't come home until my mother made me come home one year because she was tired of paying the extra money for me to stay during the intercession. And so, anyway, back to my story. So, my mother is going through this and it's not official. And so, the doctors keep telling me that they've done MRIs of her brain and this and that, and they don't see the lesions that tell them that she has dementia or Alzheimer's or any of that stuff. And every time I look up, I'm like, I don't care what you guys don't see. My mother has it. And I said, she's losing time. She tells me that, you know, the world is stuck on Tuesday. It's been Tuesday for a week, is what she'll tell me. And so it's just been a lot. And so today, I forgot what it was, but I didn't forget, but I'm just saying today started off at the crack of dawn with a lot with my mom. And I've been dealing with it all day. And then also, so I don't feel like I have my energy. And so I have low energy. And after my surgery, I wasn't able to wear my Samsung watch, which tracks my sleep and everything, because I had nerve issues on the left side of my body. And so to wear my watch for long periods of time, it hurt. And so I stopped wearing my watch for a long period of time. I would wear it during the day, but I didn't sleep with it like I used to. So fast forward, now I'm able to sleep with it and it's tracking my sleep. And it's telling me that I'm not getting quality sleep. It says that I don't get as much REM sleep as I'm supposed to, and that I stay in a light state of sleep, which is why I'm tired. And I was like, I'm so glad to have my watch back because I didn't know. I'm like, I'm taking the vitamins, I'm eating the veggies, I'm taking the juice shots, turmeric, ginger, and nothing is working. And I'm like, why am I so tired? And I know I'm dealing with a lot because, we already discussed how, I've been laid off from my job. My last day is next Friday. And then I'm dealing with my mother's health issues. And I'm just dealing with a lot, y'all. And anyway, so on a brighter note, I will say I am job hunting, and I love the career services program that my former employer or soon to be former employer has for me. They have been so helpful with helping me with revamping my resume so that it doesn't look, like an older person's resume. And I really appreciated that. And they help with my LinkedIn profile. And so I've scrubbed and I made these changes and everything. And so I had a recruiter reach out to me. And this isn't the first time a recruiter's reached out to me, but it's on a solid job. And so today I had a meeting with my career counselor, and I told her about it, and she pulled it up and she was like, Mz.ChiGurl, this job is perfect for you. And I was like, I know, right? And I said, and it's hybrid. And it's within the salary constraints that I wanted. And so I'm really happy about this. And she was like, yes, apply for it, submit your resume. I asked her to take a quick glance at my resume because that's another thing that I was learning with them, that you can't just have a generic resume anymore. You sometimes need to cater your resume to each company, which has been a lot. And so like I have like 5 different resumes right now because I'm trying to cater to all the different companies. But long story short, I um I asked her to take a look at it to make sure that it was okay. I said, "This is what I call my generic resume, and do you think it would be cool like this instead of catering it to their post?" And so she was like, "I'll get back to you by tomorrow," and blah 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 blah. So that's where I am right now, but I can't wait to apply for it. And so then we were talking about the interview and what to say, and salary negotiations. And then she was telling me they have a class for that, and I was like, great, because that's where I always like get stuck. Like I had an interview with a position that was perfect for me again, and it was at a law firm. I did all the research and everything. And I got to the last interview, and then they told me that they weren't interested. And so I often wondered if it was because I priced myself out. Because that was something that she was talking about, because I was telling her what I was looking for as far as a salary. But then I said, that in today's economy, I don't know if they'll pay that much. I said, maybe if it wasn't today's economy, I would go for it. And I told her about that position. And so with that position, I asked for a higher salary than I'm asking for now. And she was like, yeah, you don't want to do that because then it may be within their salary range, which is what they told me last time. But then you have no room to go when it comes for your annual review because you're capped out because you asked for the max for that position. And I was like, exactly. And so I want to make sure that I have a little room to grow. But like I told her, my whole thing was, you bid high and then you negotiate lower. And then she was saying, but the problem is that if they find another candidate that's equivalent or better than you, and they're willing to take less, they're not going to even bother negotiating with you. They're just going to take that person. And so I get that too. That's why this time I want to make sure that my salary expectations are known, and it actually gives me room for growth, but it doesn't max me out. So I'm hoping for the best for that. I applied for a bunch of positions, and it was funny. It was like, I don't know if today is the day when they send all the rejection letters, but I got a bunch of rejection letters today. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was telling her how, and I don't know if I told you guys this, that the day after I found out that I was going to be laid off, I booked a trip to Punta Cana. So your girl is going to the Dominican Republic. Hey. And I'm actually going next month. And so I'm going to be recording material for you in Punta Cana. And I will post it on my page. So with that being said, that's kind of what I'm dealing with. I'm looking forward to my trip at this point. I really, actually, normally I don't necessarily drink during the week because I have to work. And I know even though I'm working, but I'm not working because I'm getting laid off, what I have been doing is taking classes or applying for jobs and looking for jobs and things to that effect. And, I was just telling somebody how sometimes people send a goodbye email when they're leaving the company. I did that 18 years ago. I was like, I'm not doing a goodbye email. I actually have been personally reaching out to people. And so if I don't meet with them on Zoom, then we do a ping. And I do a, hey, I'm leaving. It was great working with you. Da, 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 da. So, I'm doing that kind of thing with everybody. But like I said, today was just so stressful with my mother that and I don't know, like I said, just feeling whatever as far as my sleep. And I know this does not help, but it helps right now. How about that? So I'm still trying to decide if you guys are going to get um, my weekend video But like I said, I want you to vote. Take. Now, let's see. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do a poll. But otherwise, I'm gonna need you to comment, which you guys are getting better at, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for those that are commenting, even my regular. I love my regular. She's always gonna give me some comments. And then for the new people who are starting to give me comments, thank you for those as well. So now I need you to give me some feedback on whether or not you see, or not see, whether or not you like the new name of, and like I said, I don't even remember it now. So I got to make sure that I have it in my head when I'm doing the video of Silver Screen and City Scenes. What's hot on streaming in Chicago. And if you guys like it, put it in the comments below that you like it. If you like weekend TV watching with Mz.ChiGurl, let me know that too. And we'll see what I come up with. But you should see the video that I created. So let me say this. Wait until you see the intro video for my new title and let me know if you like it. Because last night, so yesterday I was working. I revamped my logo, and I think I made a real cute logo. Actually, let me show it to you now. I'm going to pull it up and show you guys my new logo for Out of Curiosity with Mz.ChiGurl. And so you should see this like in the little like branding of photos. It should show this, but like in a tiny circle. And if you're on Instagram, you'll see it as well. But this is my new logo. What do you guys think? I like it. I'm really feeling it. I mean, look at this picture of me. I did good. I look like I'm curious, you know? I look like I got questions. Oh, tell me what you guys think about my new logo. And I guess I'll talk to you once I decide to post the weekend watching or the what is it called? Silver Screens and Chicago Sings. Again, it's your girl, Mz.ChiGurl, and thank you for joining me for my random thoughts. I appreciate you being here for me. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so that you can get notifications whenever I post a new video or to see new content that's similar to mine by other content creators. All right, bye-bye.